Oh, that sounds sick. Anyway, sup everyone, I'm your female otaku, and I am back with Sarah from the Otaku Fangirl to tell you more anime convention stories.
Yay!
Woo!
Yay!
Yes. So once again, oddly enough, we both went to anime convention at the same time.
Yep, that was a thing.
The week before, I went over to Otakon. Then this past weekend, Sarah went over to Anime Fest in Dallas, Texas, right? And I went over to Liberty City Anime Convention over in New York City. So it was a grand old time, and we got lots of stories to share.
Oh boy.
So sit back, guys, and enjoy the story. Do not recommend listening to this as you fall asleep. It's not that kind of story time.
No.
But I just want to give a couple of little hellos to people there in the chat. I see Very Dan. Hi.
Yep, I see Very Dan too.
The boy's always around. Look at you with
he actually went to one of my streams very recently, and he actually donated, and I was like, boy.
Yeah, no, that's what Very Dan does. He's cool. I was
like, boy, you don't need to do that. Stop.
He's just a good old bean. That's what he is.
Yeah.
I see Burn. Hi, Burn. Who else is here? Matsu. Astral, look at these awesome usernames here. Gabriel Scott, hi, Mars Butter.
Mars Butter.
Mars Butter, I know.
I want to go to Mars and have butter now.
That's a random thought, but okay.
I mean, hey, why not, right?
There you go. All right, then. So, let me just start off by saying this, guys. When I went to Liberty City Anime Convention this past weekend, I just want to say, please, oh dear Lord, please, remember to shower. I swear to God, that was the stankiest con I ever attended. Please, please shower. Oh my God, the con funk was real. Oh, was Jesus. Okay, had to get that out. Oh God. Sarah, will you start us off with a legit story?
Right. Well, let's see. What is a story? Well, you know what? I want to start off with a bang. I want to start off with J. Michael Tatum's 18 plus panel. Because boy, oh man, that was a treat. So the first have you ever seen you've never been to a Tatum panel before, have you?
I have. I've been to his 18 plus panel.
Okay. So you know how he does his, where he does the coin flip and everything.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the first person, they didn't win the coin flip. So his question to them was, what is their most weirdest masturbating story?
Oh boy.
That was a way to kick off the panel. I was like, oh dear. So the person's story was basically, they come from a very Christian family. So they started the story so weird though. They started off in a dog park. And we didn't even know what happened with the dog park. Like, it was weird. But anyway, so basically they come from a Christian family and they were, looking at their porn and everything. And then their mom walked in and, got real awkward from there. It was like, and then the mom, they left the room because that interrupted their time. So they went downstairs and well, we gotta face the fire now. And they're like, what? And then the mom was like, what would Lindsay think about you doing this? That is so shameful. Not even the mom's like, Lindsay would think that's horrible. It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
So that was a story. It was just like, wow. All right.
So this was over at the 18 plus panel this year. This wasn't during the interview. I thought you were talking about the interview.
This wasn't during the interview. That would be weird if it was during the interview.
I know. I'm like, hold up. Something's not right here.
Yeah, if that happened during the interview, I think we would question some things. I have some little story before the interview too, but I'll save that one for later.
Okay.
Yeah, so his 18 plus panels are always so interesting. Oh man,
was his boyfriend there?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, and there was another one where they involved him because the one girl, she won the coin toss, and her question was, it was like, would you bring food into the bedroom? And if you did, or if you have, what would it be? And Tatum was getting some water, so like his boyfriend was answering the question, and they were trying to figure out if they've ever done that, but they hadn't. So yeah, that was the thing. Oh man.
Wait, I just want to give a shout out to Very Dan and Shiro's Game Den for donating to the channel.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
This seriously helps me out, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes, we can get a new computer, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, that computer is very much needed. Oh dear. So yes, I appreciate it. Every dime helps, and our penny.
Every little penny.
Every Sacagawea coin.
Every yen.
We'll convert it. It'll work. Trust me,
yeah,
guys.
It's fine. Oh man.
Okay then. So last time when I did one of these, most of my stories were focused on creepers. This time I have no stories about creepers to tell. Dang. There were absolutely no creepers. I was genuinely surprised. Especially over at Otakon when I cosplayed as which I now found out everyone's now telling me it's pronounced Maeve instead of Meb or Meave. So
I said it Meb for the longest time.
I literally went around Otakon asking people during the Fate meetup. I'm just like, how do you pronounce her name? And everyone said the correct pronunciation is a Maeve. Every single one. So I'm like, okay, it's Maeve. We're calling her Maeve. So I thought that I would be getting like creepers when I was cosplaying as Maeve, but instead I got a lot of fun, ridiculous weirdos asking me to slap their asses with my whip. So it was a good time. One person asked me to step on them and I was like, oh, sweet, yeah. But then like I was so nervous to like actually put my weight on him because like it wasn't like I was stepping on his back, I was stepping on his stomach. So I'm like, oh God, let me do this as lightly as possible. But the guy was happy, man. He got a butt slap and a step on. So he was a happy dude.
He went home happy that night.
Oh my gosh, that was great.
That sounds great.
Yeah, no, like over at the Fate meetup, and thank you, Burn. Thank you for the donation. Pineapple belongs on pizza. You know what, Burn? You have convinced me I'm going to try pineapple pizza. I will try it, okay? I'll probably do it on stream one day. It'll happen, all right? You guys
just need to name that stream Pineapple Pizza Stream.
It'll be very short, 2-minute stream.
Yep.
Me trying that.
We need a review of the pizza, though.
Oh, you know what I should do then? You know, I should eat pineapple pizza with G&A reviews one day. We should just all eat it together. Burn, you'll come with us. Okay? we'll have it together. That's got to happen, all right? I'll remember this. Anyway, so over at the Fate meetup, I posted a picture of this earlier, but I want to explain more. So basically, we just finished doing like, if you guys are familiar with like Fate meetups, you usually go by class and by series and stuff. So after we finished all that, then we started doing ships. So I was the only Maeve there, and there were two Ku alters. So the guy running the event, he was ecstatic that I was cosplaying as Maeve. So he said, Maeve and Ku! Maeve and Ku! At first I didn't really understand what he said, but then everyone's all like, yo, that's you. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I walked over with the two Kus and I was trying to figure out what to do. And then one of them just sticks out his butt and he says, do it. Oh, my mic fell. Oh my God.
But that's not in character. Ku Alter wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't. No.
You'd be like, get away from me. I hate you.
Oh man. So like I was so embarrassed. Because this was in front of a large group of people. Like the Fate meetup was very overcrowded. There were 2 Fate meetups. There was one the day before, and they realized from that day that, yo, we got to get a bigger space. Yeah. So they got a bigger space for the meetup that I went to, but it still wasn't big enough. Oh boy. But we so when he stuck out his butt, I clearly knew what to do. So I was like, oh God. I just laughed for a little bit and I put my whip on his ass. And then I was just laughing the entire time. And then I shouted, this is what you wanted. But everyone loved it. It was great. But the real icing on the cake out of that whole Fate meetup was we were going to do one more thing after this this wasn't a ship. This was just Rin Tosaka faces. So you had Rin Tosakas, you had Ishtars, and you had Areshi Gals. So they all came up. And so the leader of the Fate meetup was saying, all right, get ready for this. And I'm like, okay. Like, so he goes out there and then he says, Sakura and Shiro. And so we all say, oh, that's cute. So we see a Sakura and Shiro cosplayer. They go up. And then the Shiro cosplayer gets down on one knee and he pulls out a ring and proposes to his now fiance. And we just, we flipped our shit, man. We just kept on applauding and stuff. That was great.
That sounds adorable.
Yeah, man. And he was the leader. He was just like trying to get our attention so that he can like close out the meetup. But we kept talking over him. We were just like applauding and shouting. We were so happy for them. Like I didn't even know who these people are personally.
It didn't matter.
I was just so happy. Like, wow. I never witnessed a live proposal before except for like promposals, but those don't count. So that was great.
Yeah, I think when cosplayers do that, it's really, really cute. It's like, aren't y'all adorable?
See, apparently, according to one of my coworkers from Honey's Anime, he said that he actually was the photographer for an Otakon wedding.
Oh.
He said like 2 or 3 years ago, there was a wedding at Otakon and everyone was cosplaying. And I was like, huh? Like, okay, then. Like, did you actually get married or did the character get married? That's the question.
Which is it? Oh, man. There was a Fate meetup as well at Anime Fest. But I caught the tail end of it because the interview went a little bit longer. And I'll explain that story later. But it went like the interview went a little overtime. But
don't deal with this fucking mic. Sorry.
Rip Mike. But the last tail end that I caught of the Fate meetup, there was they were doing the Astolfos at that time when I got there. Sick. And they had there was one Astolfo, he had like armor, and I was like, dude, how are you alive right now? Like he was wearing like legit armor, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's dedication, my dude. And then in the Fate meetup, they did like a battle like they would do in the game. Like because they had several masters there, so they put 2 masters on one end, and then they had like an Emiya, it was a Ibaraki on the other side, and I don't remember the other 2, but it was very interesting to see that as well. I was like, oh, it's like we're playing the game. So the Fate meetup, the tail end of it was fun at least. The Astolfo was definitely the best one because he had like all armor and everything. I was like, that's the best Astolfo I've ever seen. Oh man. And the Ibaraki, actually, because I think she was the one running it, I think.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, we had 2 Ibarakis. We had a Berserker Ibaraki and a Lancer Ibaraki.
Okay. Oh, man. I think there was one other Fate cosplayer I thought that was really good. Who was it? Because they left before they finished off. Oh, yeah, there was a Lancelot. That's who it was.
Oh!
It was Berserker Lancelot, though.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, they looked really cool. I was like, that's good.
That is impressive. Yeah, dude must have been dying, but man,
probably. I was like, you're probably dying, but you look good, so it's fine.
Yeah, like one of my friends, if you guys are familiar with the cartoon Cypher, Mr. MJ Cosplay, he was cosplaying as Arjuna, and his friend cosplayed as Karna.
Oh.
And yeah, like his friend went all out with Karna. Like, you know those like weird fluff or flames, whatever they are, that those fuchsia things that are around him? He had that. They were like a bunch of cotton balls dyed fuchsia, and he had them all around him. And I'm just like, that is huge and impressive. Respect.
Respect, yeah. Big respect. Oh, man.
Oh, bye, bye, Dan. Enjoy your day. Oh, wait, no, enjoy your Azur Lane, I guess. Everyone's playing that. That's like the new Can Cola, isn't it?
I probably won't like it, but
it's like I already have Girls Frontline in FGO.
I have Fate Grand Order, and that takes up all my time. So you know what?
yeah.
Oh man.
All right then. So the next thing that I want to expand upon, because I briefly mentioned this on Twitter as well. I was this was, what was it, Saturday? Yeah, no. This was Friday night, and I was hanging out with my friends. We were going out to eat dinner. We went over to like this Cuban place, good eats and stuff. We were having a grand old time, and I was hanging out with like my my friend Mr. MJ Cosplay, and we were chatting and stuff. And he has the fairy tale like what's it called? The guild symbol or something, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he has the fairy tale tattooed on his left shoulder. Because he really likes fairy tales, so of course I make fun of him for that. But anyway, we were just chatting, and then we hear a tap on the window because we are sitting like next to a window, and we see that it's Todd Habercorn. It's the Todd Habercorn. And he's just like pointing at Mr. MJ Cosplay's tattoo, and he's like giving him a thumbs up, and then he leaves. And, like, nobody else on the table knew who he was except for Mr. MJ Cosplay and I. So I was just there like, and it took Mr. MJ Cosplay a few seconds to realize who he was, and then I just finally was able to form some words, and then I said, "That was Todd Habercorn." Most people on the table they were just like, "Who?" And I'm just all like, "He voices the character from Fairy Tale." Oh my gosh, I flipped my shit. I could not believe he did that.
That's funny.
I will remember that always. Like, wow.
Well, for voice actors for Anime Fest, they had Tatum, they had Tia Ballard, they had Erica Harlacher, if I don't know if that's how her name's pronounced, but and I was wearing my Kaede cosplay, and I was walking to get in line for Erica's panel, or actually it wasn't just her panel, other people were there, but anyway, and I was sitting down, or I was about to sit down, whatever, in my Kaede cosplay, and Erica comes by, and she like points at me, and she's like, "Nice Kaede cosplay," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you, I'm gonna cry." Because I was like, the wig was already falling, and I probably looked horrible, but it's fine. Because that wig's not heavy, but it just wants to fall, and I'm like, why? But yeah, it was nice to actually have her see my cosplay, because I wanted to wear it all day till I went to the autograph session, but the wig was like, "You're not going to do that." So, but she's really nice, because I got her autograph on my Persona 5 art book for On. So it's just like, and we had a nice little conversation, and it was fun.
Okay, yeah.
She's very nice, and she has kind of pink hair, and it's like, "I like your hair." She was like, and then she was like, "Yeah, it took me all morning to get it like this." I'm like, "Well, you did a good job."
Oh, wow.
So yeah. Let's see. What other voice act? Oh yeah, and Tia Ballard. So I was getting in.
Yay, I
love her. Yeah, she was there too. I didn't get to get an autograph from her or anything. But I did get to be in the same elevator as her for about 5 minutes. So that was fun. Yeah. I hear people say that all the time. "Oh, I was in an elevator with so-and-so voice actor." And I'm like, I could never say that until today. So that was fun.
Going back to the wig, what I recommend to most people is to get a wig grip. And you can get it on Amazon, or heck, even on Wish. And what it is it's this headband with like Velcro at the end, and you put it over your wig cap, and your wig ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to look into that, because
some people will use it for like long wigs, but I use it for all of my wigs, because sometimes even my 2B wig will like slip back. So
yeah, because I'm that person who like sticks a bunch of bobby pins in my head, and I'm like, you know what? It's fine.
And
then I take off the wig and my head hurts because all the bobby pins, but I'm like, I'm fine.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's a thing that I do. Because like wigs, like my Makoto wig for Persona 5, that wig, it stays just fine with just maybe 10 or less bobby pins. So
okay, then. Scott Report says the elevator where the lights went out at Anime Fest was Boss.
Oh yeah, let me say that story real quick. That's a really quick story, because as we were waiting to get the doors open for the interview, because Scott was with me at the time, so Tatum and the others were right next to us and everything, and there was this elevator that we were waiting by, and it opened, and the lights were off, like they were broken, and there was a few people in the elevator, and then the doors closed, and we're like, oh, those poor people, they are in the dark.
Oh.
If I was in that elevator, I would get off of it immediately because I would not want to be on it. Like,
it's like you're in an episode of Angels of Death.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it would be like that. Except there's not a hot serial killer named Zach. With a scythe and a crazy laugh.
Oh my god, that freaking laugh.
Oh, I saw 2 Angels of Death cosplayers when I went. They were really cool.
Oh yeah, so did I. I saw 2 Zach cosplayers and I saw 1 Rachel.
Yeah, I saw Rachel and a Zach, and I saw the kid that has like that weird mask head thing.
Oh yeah, Eddie?
Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, I saw one of them too. That was cool.
That's awesome, man. So like I told us a few stories of Otakon. Let me tell a few stories from Liberty City Anime Convention. So I only went there for a day. I've been there. This is my 3rd time going over to Liberty City. To be honest, I cannot stand that con. I think it's extremely poorly run. I hate the panels that they accept. However, if you're like new to going to cons, you're going to love it. All right, because you get to see a bunch of mutuals, like of course you're gonna have an awesome time and stuff. You get to meet a voice actor, heck yeah. So if you're new to con going and you're just like, Sloan, why are you so mean to Liberty City? Well, you're new, so you'll learn. But you'll learn.
You'll learn.
So like when I was over at Liberty City this was my first time lobby conning. And for those of you who don't know what lobby conning is, it's basically when you go over to an anime convention and you don't buy a badge, you do everything else you're able to do without a badge. So, you can't go to specific events like concerts, you can't go get autographs, and you can't go to the dealer's room or the artist alley. Unless if you have a friend that's able to sneak you in, which I did. Thanks, Urza, in the chat. Thank you. She was a doll. I had a blast hanging out with her. You're awesome, Urza. But yeah, so as I was lobby conning, this is a very easy convention to do that because, some conventions, just to enter the convention center, you need to show them your badge. This is not that kind of convention. So small conventions, you're able to do that stuff. Pro tip. And I went there with some friends, and my friends, they also did not like Liberty City, but not for the same reasons as me. They don't like Liberty City because apparently the guy who runs Liberty City is a total prowler. Yeah. So they're just like, yo, we don't want to support this guy, but we want an excuse to cosplay. So they all rolled up as sports festival Boku no Hero characters, and I'm just like the lone Rem. So
the lonely Rem.
And it's great because I'm actually way taller than all of them, so I like really stand out. Yeah. So I was like walking around getting people for my cosplay music video. And during this time, I have a bunch of people asking for my pictures. So, I stop, let the people take my pictures. Good stuff. I then meet up with some of my friends who were there. They like just finished running an anime Jeopardy panel. And it went well for a panel that was at 9 a.m. So I was very impressed that it actually went well. And I was chilling out with them, and one of the guys who was hanging out with them took a picture of me earlier. And so he then starts he starts quizzing me on ReZero, and I'm just like, dude, I haven't seen the anime since it aired back in 2016. You're asking me a lot of difficult questions, man. He was asking me like specific lines that characters said. That's all he was asking me. And I'm just like, dude, I haven't seen the anime in 2 whole years. Like, I don't know the specific lines. I could tell you events that happened, but I can't tell you specific lines. Eventually, like, he wouldn't shut up. So eventually I kind of just had to walk out. Like he wouldn't stop talking. So I was just like, hey guys, I'm going to the artist alley. I'm going to leave my stuff here. Bye.
Peace out.
Yeah, no, I had to. That guy was like, oh God, he would not shut up.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All you had to say was, look, I know the line, I love Amelia, that's all you need to know.
There you go. There you
That's
go.
all you need to say. That's all you need to say.
That would have been perfect.
And then you need to just start, like, as your rem, you just need to start crying. Weren't you a demon rem, though?
I was demon rem.
Yeah, I saw a picture of it, and I was like, good horn.
I was super happy with it. The thing is that the horn was supposed to light up, and you can insert a battery in there. The thing is that there's no opening for you to insert the battery.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. I don't understand. It's like they sealed it shut, but they made space for a battery to be put inside. So I don't understand.
Someone explain.
I know. It's like I tried to find a screw so that I can unscrew it, but there's no screw.
Oh. Oh man, that sucks.
I don't even know, man.
Well, for me, the two biggest regrets that I had at my experience was, one, walking into the dealer's room with money. Oh man. And there's a little story with that. So it's interesting. So I was on the prowl for Fate figures because I'm like, I need more than just a Stolfo. So I always look around first and see, like, because sometimes they'll have doubles. So I checked one, and it had a Mordred, and I was no, it wasn't Mordred. It was a Nero. It was a Nero.
Oh, nice.
So I was like,
what version of Nero?
Also Mordred, but I wanted Nero, but I didn't end up buying it. But anyway, it was about $60, I remember. So I was like, okay, let me look around, make sure there's not anything, maybe 50 or 40. Went over to one, same Nero figure. And I asked the guy because it didn't have a price on it. I'm like, well, okay, how much for that Nero figure? And he's like, 200. And I'm like,
was it Bride Nero?
No, it was just normal Nero.
What?
Both were normal Nero. And
what?
And I blinked at him, and I just kind of walked away because I'm like, and then the next day, because this was on Saturday, so on Sunday, I wanted to see if some fool bought that $200 Nero figure when they could have bought a $60 one over at the other booth or whatever, and it was gone. And I'm like, wow, that poor person. I mean, hey, if you want to spend $200 on your waifu, go ahead. But I'm not about that life.
Yeah, no, the amount of money I ever spent on a waifu was a Tumble Lancer, and that was $170.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad for that figure.
Yeah, like Fate figures are always expensive.
Yeah.
You know, like actually my friend got a pretty good deal on some Fate figures. She bought, I kid you not, a Nero Bride figure for $60. We're talking a scale figure here. And I'm just like, how in the hell did you find a Nero figure for $60? And why the heck did that dealer merchant person sell it for $60? Like, what? Oh my God. That was insane.
And then there was one area that I saw a Gilgamesh in a swimsuit figure. So I checked how much money I had. I had 170 something, and it was 100 and something, but with tax, it was just a little bit more than I had, and I just wanted to cry. I was like, no, I want Gilgamesh in a swimsuit.
I don't know they made Gilgamesh swimsuit figures. I gotta look into this.
He's in, it kind of looks like the free swimsuits, actually.
Let me Google this.
Except it's gold, because, you know, Gilgamesh.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Man, but and it was funny because the person before me was like, they looked like they were gonna buy it before I got up there, but then they decided not to. But then I couldn't buy it because
yeah, you're right. It's like free.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Gilgamesh and free win. He just destroys the competition.
That'll be great. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So rip me not getting that figure. Oh well. I'll get it one day.
Yeah, I was gonna say one day. I heard that there's another convention going on in Texas this weekend called San Japan.
Okay, yeah, I know about that one. I've never been to it, but
Texas has a lot of anime conventions, right?
Yeah, we do. There's actually one supposed to be happening in my town, actually. It's going to be very, very small, though. But I don't know if I'm going to go to it because I'm like, well, depending on what voice actors they get, I might go. If not, then I'm going to say, nah.
It's an excuse to cosplay and buy figures.
I mean, true. And by that time, I'll probably have my Fate Grand Order protagonist female cosplay in. So that's an excuse.
Oh wait, Tricky, I see you there in the chat. He or she, I'm sorry, I can't really tell by your name. Says I bought a Diva replica gun for $95 when online it's like $60. Oof. I know
Yikes.
what you're talking about. At least I'm like 99.9% sure I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the gun that has a laser and it charges your phone? Because they had that same one over at Anime Next back in June. They're selling it for the same price too, $95. And one girl next to me said, "Don't get it. You can find it online for $60." So I was like, okay. Oh, Tricky says yes. Okay, Tricky says yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. It was probably the same merchant, most likely.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 90 for a gun that does those two things. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
if you can get it for 60, then yeah.
The most expensive Diva gun I have seen was $110. Yeah, no, Diva
if
guns.
I was to get any gun related thing that's like does stuff like that, like can shoot lasers or charge my phone over, I want a Psychopass one because I know those exist.
They do. They do, and they look so cool.
And I'm like, I'm sure they're like $300 that I don't have.
Totally. Yeah, there's not a doubt in my mind.
Because like, if I bought one of those, I'm putting it on the highest shelf. There's gonna be light shining on it, and it's gonna be spinning. I need that displayed.
Of course, like most definitely. You don't just put that underneath your bed, okay?
Yeah. Oh man,
you gotta display that. It's like something out of a museum. You gotta.
Yeah. Welcome to my museum of this one Psychopass gun.
Please look, don't touch, and stand please like 10 yards away.
Don't breathe on it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I don't want your breath on it.
Oh damn, Tricky. He says mine doesn't work anymore. No. Oh. What? You bought that expensive gun and it doesn't work anymore?
I'll cry.
Oh my god, no. You poor fool. Oh my god, I cannot.
Oh, do you remember last time we were talking about cons and I said there was that one guy that like pro ZD?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading Scott's comment. What'd you just say?
Oh, remember last time we were talking about cons and I said there was that one guy that like pro ZD?
Yes.
He was there at Anime Fest.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So he was carrying around, when I saw him, he was carrying around a sign that said he was Honoka somebody from Love Live's dad. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. I was like, don't carry that around. That no. Oh, and the only reason I saw it is because he went to Natalie Hoover's panel that was on Sunday morning, and he wasn't even wearing cosplay. He was wearing some like kimono looking thing. I don't know. And I'm like, oh, and he sat right next to me too. And I'm like, oh dear.
Oh dear.
I'm like, you're back, aren't you? Because I'm like, I remember you from Otakon.
Oh, hey, I don't think everybody here knows what you're talking about. Do you mind?
Oh, yeah, that. Basically, there's a guy that I've seen twice now that looks like ProZD, the YouTuber. And I feel like I'm going to see him every time I go to Otakon or Anime Fest now.
But why don't you like him?
Oh, yeah, because he seems a bit like he's a pervert, probably. That's what he seems like to me, the way he presents himself. Ugh. So, yeah. I mean, I don't want to say anything, you know, it's just, but he seems like that kind of person to me.
Oh, I must have been confusing him with somebody else. I thought this was the guy who was like talking to you for like ever and ever online.
No. I forgot that they still have me on Facebook. I need to unfriend them.
Oh dear.
I forgot I still have them friends on Facebook, but actually I have them blocked. I don't know.
Scott's got your back though.
Yeah, thanks,
cool
Scott.
You guys keep meeting up.
By the way, Scott makes a good Joker cosplayer.
Hey, I saw your vlog, by the way, Scott. I
haven't seen it yet.
Oh man, he gave a really nice speech at the end. It was very touching.
I'll need to go. Yeah, that's another thing I need to do, but I'm like, I have a job.
There. It's always so weird. Like the day you come back from a convention, you have to go to work.
I know. I was like, I don't want to get up and go to work. Ew.
Oh man, like the con depression really hits you then.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about it with like some of my coworkers, but none of them know what anime is. So I'm just like, I have to be quiet and not talk about my love for anime cons.
Oh no.
I mean, I could, but they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Well, actually, somebody today mentioned manga, but then they just kind of, I was like, oh, what manga? And they're like, Attack on Titan. And then I was like, oh, I haven't read that. And then the conversation kind of ended.
Oh, so
yeah.
close, but yet so far.
So far. And of course, it's Attack on Titan, you know, things that people who aren't in anime know about. Got any more con stories?
I'm like, I know, it's like, I know I have tons. I just can't think of them right now. And I'm just like, why? I went to 2 conventions and I can't think of anything. Why is this?
Any stories you can think of with voice actors you might have met, if at all?
Like I did interview the Trigger staff, and like I interviewed the president of Trigger, one of the producers there, and Yo-Yo Shinari, who was the director and animator for Little Witch Academia, and he's also worked on like Gurren Lagann. And just, a ton of stuff. Like a lot. There's a lot.
How does that work out though with Japanese people? Do they have a translator, I assume?
Yes, there's a translator. But actually, when I interviewed the band all off, like back at Anime Next, I was speaking when I asked my first question, I spoke to the translator, but then the leader of the band ends up responding to me in English, and I was like, what? And he said, oh, I'm the only one that speaks English. I grew up in California. And I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, I remember another regret that I had. Not a dealer's room regret, but I was running back to the line for Tatum's 18 plus panel because you had to go get like this wristband thingy to say you're over 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that when I went over there, so I had to go get it. But anyway, running back, so I didn't lose my place in line, I saw this cosplayer of this character from Show by Rock. I don't think you've ever seen that, but his name's Crow.
Okay.
And I love this character, and it was actually a dude cosplaying him because mostly girls are into that anime, but and he was really attractive, and I wanted to like get a picture, but I also didn't want to lose my place in line, so I was like, I can look at you from afar and you're really hot, but I was like, God damn, he's hot. Why?
Damn.
I was really sad that that's the second time I've regretted not taking a picture with a hot cosplayer.
Oh,
and
man.
Also another thing, going to an anime convention without friends is really sad.
You know, I used to do that. And I was fine because that's how I first started going to conventions. I just went alone. But then I started going with friends, and now I don't want to go back.
Yeah, I had to go to this con alone because press badge and everything gotten for free. Because my friend couldn't come or anything, because they could have come because they have connections with this one dealer because they were selling cosplay at this con, but they couldn't come, so they had to work. So I was alone, and I made a few friends. Like, if you saw in my video, there was that Joker and Makoto cosplayer.
Yes.
Which, by the way, were super cute, and I was like, I'm dying.
They were super cute.
Yeah, I was like, the ship is real. Anyway, I follow them on Instagram, and they follow me, and I need to actually, talk with them more because they were cool people. So
I remember like 7 stories now. So, all right then. So, as I was walking in the artist's alley, I suddenly hear people talk about Fate. So I'm just all like, nah, Sloan, you don't need to get in on this. But then they kept talking about Fate, and I'm just all like, yeah, no, you need to get in on this. So then I leave one of the artists, and I go straight over to the people talking about Fate. And I'm just like, excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear you guys talking about Fate. And they were cosplaying as a Nero in her like original form, and Tamamo no Mai, and also in her original form. So we were chatting about Fate, and then we say like laters, and then I kid you not, I bump into them for the rest of the weekend 7 more times.
Wow.
One of the times was super fun. It was Saturday night. At that point, I was cosplaying as Maeve, and they were like on the ground chilling and stuff, and they had like these Fate cards out. And I was just like, oh, what are you guys doing? And then they're all like, oh, we're using these fake in order tarot cards to play like a fake summoning game. And I'm like, that sounds pretty cool. So they're like, you want in? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want in. So we shuffle the cards and then we like each choose like 6 from the pile. And then we see like which servants we summoned. And then after that, more of my friends come over and they're also like huge Fate fans. They were cosplaying as Saber and like her original form. Who is it? Halloween like Caster Liz. And Iskandar in his like t-shirt form. So they came over and then we're all like, hey, you guys want in? We're playing like a fake summoning game. And they were like, yeah, sure, we want in. And so like it was just this big whole group circle doing fake summons for and like we were basically saying like, ha, I got my waifu, or ha, I stole your waifu. Like when we were like flipping over the cards, seeing who we got. I never got Ozzy. I was so mad. Oh, like, Ozzy, why? Why won't you come home to me, Ozzy? I
still want Cool Alter to come home to me, but he's not gonna.
Oh my god.
I mean, he might, but
one day. No, I believe Cool Alter.
I believe too, and I need to wail. Just need to wail.
You gotta wait till when they do like the singularity banners. And then they do like the E pluribus unum banner. You gotta wait for that. Then he'll be on Raid Up along with Maeve. But still, you know, it'll be good. Do you have Maeve?
No, I don't.
Okay, all good. All
I've
good.
used
what 5 stars do you have?
Oh gosh. I know. Fuck. Who do I have?
You have Tamamo no Mai.
I had Tamamo no Mai. I got Ruler Martha today. Shoot. Who else do I have? I can't remember. All I can think about is
you got Ruler Martha?
She's I got her today when I wailed.
But that's awesome.
I was like, I either want Artoria in a swimsuit, but I didn't get her, so.
I know. And she's never coming back, so I'm like, no.
Yeah. I know Scott wanted Ruler Martha, and I'm like, ha ha.
Oh, damn. Wow.
I rubbed it in his face today. I was like, ha.
Damn.
I was like, got your waifu.
Oh, damn.
If I could trade her, I would.
That was basically us over at the fake summoning thing that we did. We're just like, I got your waifu. It was a lot.
No, Scott, I don't want Marie. You can keep her.
What do you have against Marie? She's the most wholesome thing.
I mean, she's cute and all, but I don't know. If I got her, I'd be like, oh, okay, you exist.
She's so cute. I cannot. I love her.
I mean, she's great and all, but I'm like, I'd probably never use her. She just kind of sit there.
Oh.
I have other people I need to devote my time to, Koo.
I understand. Yeah, no, that's a valid answer.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, fucking mic! Ah.
The mic just wants to die.
It wants to commit suicide.
You just name your mic Dazai because obviously
I should. You are now Dazai.
The mic is now Dazai.
Oh man. There you go, Burn. Not wanting Marie is a sin. Burn understands. Burn is on my side. Thank you, Burn. Oh man. Can I say one more story, or do you have another one?
Let's see. Do I have another one? You say yours, and I could probably think of one.
Okay, so let me talk about the Cosplay Burlesque.
Oh boy.
If you guys remember my Anime Next vlog, or when I streamed like my con stories about Anime Next, I was so excited to go over to the Cosplay Burlesque, but my legs gave out and I fell asleep and I completely missed it. So this time I made sure to rest up and eat something so that I had energy to go to the Cosplay Burlesque, and I did. And it was an amazing time, man. Like you had a stripper Groot. Okay. Ooh. There was a stripper Groot. That was my favorite one, the stripper Groot. You had Korra from Legends of Korra. You also had Batman and Robin. That was hilarious though, because the announcer was just like, okay, get ready for the most famous couple in geek history. And so who comes out first is Catwoman robbing a bank. So we're like, oh, okay, they're gonna do like Catwoman and Batman. And so like who pops up was Batman and Robin, and then they like beat up Catwoman and she leaves. And so they're like, ah, yeah, all in a day's work. And so they go up to pick up the money, and then they touch hands. And then like sexy music plays, and then it was great. I loved it so much. But there were two guys and one drag king who I never seen a drag king before. I didn't know that was a thing. And that drag king was fantastic. That person cosplayed as Yuri from Yuri on Ice, and he put tassels instead on his nipples. He put them on his ass. Oh, I was like, that is the most unique thing I have ever seen in my entire life. That was great. Oh my god.
Oh man.
But you will not believe this. So, like I said, there were two guy strippers and one drag king. One of the guy strippers was Batman, and the other one was Waluigi.
Oh.
But here's the thing. Waluigi didn't strip. Did not even take off a glove. Instead, he did party tricks. And guess what? He made the most money out of everyone by far. I think it was because of the tension, because we were just waiting like any second this good-looking guy was going to take off a piece of clothing, but he didn't. Instead, he tossed roses, and he like threw flower petals and stuff, and he like balanced on some sort of like seesaw type thing and was juggling swords. And then he brought up a volunteer, and he blindfolded her. So we're like, holy shit, he's gonna do kinky stuff to her. And then he took out a whip, and we're like, oh shit, it's gonna go down. We all flipped our shit. The thing is, though, it was not a kinky whip. It was a legit whip that can like legit hurt you. So like, it was like that's the type of whip you do not want to be cracked on. Like, instead, he gave the volunteer, he gave her a rose, and so she held it out, and he used the whip to crack, break, snap the rose, I should say. I'm just like, what's the proper word? Fucking English. So yeah, he used the whip to like snap roses that she was holding. So that was intense. I even tossed money at him. That was the first time I tossed money at a stripper, and he wasn't even a stripper. Okay.
Oh man, that's great.
Funny thing, like most of the people that tossed money at Waluigi, or as everyone was calling him, Walla Daddy, they were guys, and they were like doing the whole thing, like the making it rain type thing, where they had a pile of money and they were just making it rain on him. Like, oh my god, I loved the Cosplay Burlesque, and Walla Daddy was the highlight of it all. Again, he made the most money, even got money from me and my friends, and he didn't even strip. Just bravo.
Best one.
Bravo.
Oh man. Well, I didn't go to a Cosplay Burlesque thing, but I did go to a Danganronpa V3 dating game panel thingy.
Ooh.
And okay, so they didn't have a Rantaro, unfortunately, and I wanted that one. I was like, okay. Yeah, they didn't have Shuichi either, and I was like, dang it. But and Kokichi was the one hosting the panel, so I was like, okay, I don't want Korikyo because that's creepy. They didn't have a Gonta either, so I was left with Korikyo or Kibo, and I was like, who do I know better? Kibo, because that's my robot son, so I could probably win him over.
Okay.
So when I got to Kibo, they picked 3 people to come and do the blind dating game thing. And so it was funny because it was me, someone who also wasn't cosplaying, and then a Rin from Blue Exorcist. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, I have to fight my husband for this. I have to fight my husband for my robot son. Okay. So after all the 3 questions were answered, I answered just no robophobia, guys. And Rin won, and I was like, dang it. It was sad.
But how did this work? This wasn't a
Okay, so
debating
basically,
thing?
there was 4 chairs. The Kibo sat in one where he couldn't see behind him to the 3 people, and then like he would ask us questions, and I don't remember what the questions were, but like maybe one was about, you know, how do you feel about robots or something like that, you know. Then we would all, one of us would answer and stuff, and then by the end of the 3 questions, he'd be like, okay, I pick contestant number 2 or whatever. So
Okay.
yeah, and I feel like I was so close to winning over Kibo, but then Rin, the final question that he answered it really well, so that's probably why he won. I was like, dang it.
Oh, wow.
It's like, I wanted to hug Kibo and get Pocky. Oh, well, I tried.
That's nice. You get Pocky, too?
Yeah, the prizes were Pocky and a hug.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's the sweetest thing I ever heard.
Oh, and a ring pop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
love this. They technically did have a Rontaro because they made the joke of like they had a Kermit the Frog plushie.
Okay.
And they put a green wig on top of it.
Oh my god.
I don't know why, but that was a thing.
Oh my goodness, that's so random.
It was. I was like, I don't get the joke, but okay.
All right.
Oh man. Jeez. I want to go to a Cosplay Burlesque one day because I'm like, that sounds really fun.
They're so entertaining, man. And one thing that I really respected this Cosplay Burlesque for, like, their mascot, like, on the logo and stuff, was a super tiny, thin woman. But everyone, just about everyone, not all of them, but just about everyone, a part of the Cosplay Burlesque were plus sized. And that didn't matter to anyone. We were still tossing money and stuff. We were happy. We were just like, woo, yeah, girl, you shake that ass, or something like that. Like, you know, like we were all happy. I was happy. I'm just like, yo, this was a safe space. It was great.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Anime Fest was very organized.
That's cool.
Compared to Akon, because Akon's a little bit bigger than Anime Fest, I feel like, but. Because it's at a convention center and A-Fest is at a hotel. But Anime, because they just adapted the ticket system this year, like Akon did, and Akon did it horribly. A-Fest was very good with their ticket system, and I was like, why can't Akon do it like this? Oh man. And Anime Fest, they take your badge and they always scan it before you go into like a panel or the dealer's room, and I'm like, Akon, get on this. I'm like, do this. It's gonna help you. Oh man. And honestly, it makes me want to go back to Anime Fest instead of Akon.
You said they scan badges?
Yeah, they have these little like iPads, and they scan your badge before you go in because reasons.
Really? I've never heard of that.
Neither had I until it happened. I'm like, oh, okay. So that was a thing. Man, though. Ugh.
That is super interesting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. It was just like, huh. Everyone should do this.
Sky Report says they scan to verify, but like you can show them your badge and you can see that it's not like they repeat the same badges every year, you know?
Yes, but maybe it's I don't know why besides verifying would they do it. I don't know.
People be scalping? What do you mean by that?
I mean, I never heard of someone making a fake badge before, so.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
I've never heard of that happening, but maybe it happens.
Someone will go that far.
I will go this far to be in this convention right now. Oh, man. But,
the one thing that happened to me in the Artist Alley as well was I bought my first print, which you will see in my haul video that I will upload tomorrow. I'm super excited. Oh my gosh. I love all the stuff I bought. But anyway, so I bought my first print, and then I will say this. The print was of a girl, and she may or may not have been a lolly. So I walk around to the next booth, and then a girl walks up to me, and then she's like, excuse me, is that a lolly? And I'm like, sort of. And so she said, I'm gonna have to arrest you. And I'm like, what? And then she's like, yeah, I am the lolly patrol. And then she has like handcuffs on her, and I'm like, oh god. And then she's like, And then she's just still like, I have my eye on you. And I'm like, okay. And then she walks the opposite way.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's all right. Oh, there was also a really interesting thing that happened is I saw a girl cosplaying Kaito from Vocaloid, and I love Kaito because I have problems, but and she's the best Kaito cosplayer I've actually probably ever seen. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Kaito, you look great or something. She was like, thanks. And then she like hugged me, and then I'm like, oh God. Mm-hmm. Oh God. This very attractive girl cosplaying my attractive husband is hugging me. What do?
I know what you mean. Like, I know.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, because I wasn't going anywhere, so I was like, oh, where's your ice cream, Kaito? Because Kaito likes ice cream, and she's like, oh, ate it all. And I'm like, dang it, I wanted to share it with you.
Oh my God,
so that was a fun interaction.
I literally just got my next story and it disappeared from my head. I'm like, what? I just had it. I was literally just thinking about it. What happened?
Rip.
Oh my God, it was from Otakon too. Oh my God, what the what? I'm gonna
die. Let's see. Do I have any more? Oh yeah, there was this person carrying around a John plushie. And I was waiting in line to get in the dealer's room, and I was like, praise the Holy Virgin John.
Oh, are we talking about fake John? And then some people did talking about Ruby John. I was like, wait.
Oh, we're talking about fake Grand Order John.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like two other people joined me, and it was great.
Oh wow, that's great. I like
and
that.
And then like held the plushie up like Simba style.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was a fun little interaction.
Did you go to any like meetups?
Besides the Fate one, that's all there was a Persona 5 one on Friday, but I got there late and I was sad that I couldn't go. Because I was like, I totally would have been Makoto, but rip.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, okay. So, like, this was the day before my fan meetup. My fan meetup was on Saturday. This was on Friday. And one of my friends, she was like doing a live unboxing for us of one of the mystery boxes that she got in the dealer's room. And the mystery box theme was Ghost in the Shell, one of her favorite series. So she opens it and like, what do you expect from a Ghost in the Shell mystery box?
What do I expect? I have no idea. What would you get in that?
Well, I guess themed mystery boxes. Yeah, you expect like figures and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay.
A picture or something.
Yeah. But she opens it and all it is merch from the live action movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. I never saw that movie, but no.
Now, I like the live action movie.
I wanted to go see it, but
I thought it was entertaining. Okay. I will not deny that. But the fact that all the pop figures and even a little print and stuff was all of the live action movie. The only thing that was from the series, the standalone complex series, was a random DVD. I'm talking a random 3 episodes, volume 7 DVD. Okay. Like, it's so insulting. Like, when you get a Ghost in the Shell mystery box, you expect it to be from the movie or the standalone complex, or heck, maybe even the Arise series. Okay, you do not expect the live action and then have most of the stuff inside be from the live action. So she was super down, and so like 24 hours pass. I'm about to go to my fan meetup, and I'm just like, hey, you know what? Maybe I can take that off your hands. And then she's just like, really? And I'm like, yeah, maybe I can give it to my fans. Let me see what's inside. Because I was going to be giving prizes away to my fans, and I already had prizes. But I'm just like, hey, Matt, why not bring more? You know what? I go look in the box, and I'm reminded of how horrible this box is. And I'm just like, yeah, no, never mind. And then she's like, wow, Sloan. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. This is like really bad. And she's like, you had my hopes up.
Goes to the trash.
There you go. Goes to the trash.
That's like if you get a Death Note blind bag and it was from the live action Netflix movie. Ugh.
Oh my gosh. That I would kill myself.
And they're making a second one for that too.
Oh my gosh. Like you open it and you see Light Turner's face. And you chuck it. You chuck it out of the hotel window.
Probably scream.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
I forgot about that scream. That was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I remember I was like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad. Then he screamed and then I laughed. So ugh.
Oh wow, yeah. My other friend, she bought 2 Boku no Hero mystery boxes, one for her boyfriend and one for herself. And she opens both of them, and they're the exact same thing.
Oh.
And she said that the guy from the dealer's room, he said there may be some repeats, and both of them the exact same. Even there was even a mini mystery box within the mystery box, and it was like to get like a Boku no Hero like keychain, and they were both the same. In both of the boxes, yes.
I think they were rigged.
Yeah, like, oh, you think that there may be some repeats? Like, dude, they're the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The blanket, the pop figures, the cup, and the keychain. Like, how? What? Oh, like that. Oh my god.
The speaking of Boku Hero, the English dub voice actor for Aizawa was actually at Anime Fest. I don't remember what his name was, but he had a little booth in the dealer's room where he was giving you could win a free Aizawa pop figure, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't know who you are because I don't watch the dub, but that's cool.
You know who was over at Liberty City?
Who?
The voice actor of Kamui Woods.
Oh,
and you're just like, he's like barely in the anime.
It's like, oh yeah, that character.
Like, how and why is he a guest? I don't understand.
I mean, does he voice anyone else in any other shows?
He was there mainly for Kamui Woods because he was selling prints of Kamui Woods. Who would buy a print of Kamui Woods?
Someone who's into wood. I don't know. They're gonna be girls who are like, man, that wood.
Oh my god, they're gonna wake up and see a beautiful poster of Kamui Woods and just to like, dude, I respect you, man. Thank you for attending Liberty City. I am so glad I got to see you.
What? I mean, really, you got to start somewhere, and if he starts with Kamui Woods, then he's in a good place.
Oh my god. I cannot. So, do you know the cosplayer, the beautiful, beautiful cosplayer, Phil Mizuno?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Killed me with that Coup cosplayer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Sarah knows. Good stuff. So he was over at Otakon, and I died.
I was really jealous. I was like,
I know. Yeah, and like, I saw him.
I want to take over your body right now so I can meet him.
It's like, can I summon you instead? Like, just
yeah, please.
He was over at Otakon, so of course I was gonna go see him. And like, I'm walking around seeing people for like getting people for my cosplay music video, and then I suddenly see a running Bakugo, and I'm just like, wait a minute. I know that Bakugo anywhere. But here's the thing. I was on the top floor and he was at the bottom. So I ran. I chased this guy down from the top floor all the way down to see him. And then I finally catch up to him as he was speed walking. And I'm just like, hey, are you Phil Mizuno? And then he's like, yeah, as he's like still running. And I'm just like, I'm making a cosplay music video. Do you mind if I add your cosplay to my video? And then he's like, actually, I'm late to opening ceremonies. And I'm like, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see. And then he's like, but come over to my booth. And I'm like, okay. So later on, I go over to his booth and he had the grenade things off, so I'm just all like, hey, is it cool if I get you with your grenades on? And then he's like, do you mind if I signed the other people's like prints and stuff? And I'm like, sure, no problem. So I was actually standing right behind, like in his booth. Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, like I am here, like practically hosting his booth. Like I was like, oh my god.
That's great.
Yeah, like, oh wow, just wow. He's such a natural guy. He honestly, you know, a Phil Mizuno. Okay, he's just that everyday guy that you talk to about anime, super chill, loves boba, great at cosplay. Like, he's awesome. Okay, Phil Mizuno is a great dude. And then he's finished his signing everybody else's stuff. So I get him for my video, and I was like dead because he's just so on point, this man. And then we took a selfie, and once again I died and then resuscitated. It was a good day. It was a very good day.
Yeah, that's how I felt about meeting Reika back at Akon.
I would die too. I would die if I saw Reika, especially if Reiko's cosplaying as Dazai.
That was me just dying when she was being Dazai. I was like, ah.
I was like, Reika makes a very good Gilgamesh as well.
Yes, she does. She recently did Todoroki. Actually, I told her Instagram.
You're right. I saw that. Hi, Spicy Cream Puff.
Did...
I see you in the chat. Spicy Cream Puff went to Liberty City with me.
That's a name, Spicy Cream Puff.
Yes.
I don't think I want my cream puff to be spicy, but all right. Oh man, I don't think that would taste good, really. But whatever.
No, Spicy Cream Puff, aka AJ, that literally describes her so well.
Really,
she's just a spicy cream puff.
Oh man. Oh, it's funny. When my mom was looking at my Erica autograph that I got in my Persona 5 art book, she was like, she's like, you're gonna have to work on your signature one day too. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I actually brought you up because I'm like, I think Sloan was actually working on her signature at one point.
I was. Thank God, to be honest, even though I was practicing, no one asked me for their autograph. So I'm just like, oh, thank God. I was like, even though I practiced, I was not ready because ever since that first time when I gave someone an autograph and I messed up completely, I added a Y. Like, there's no Y in my username.
Saloni, the female otaku?
Oh my gosh. No, you want to know where I added the Y? When I was making the U in otaku, it turned into a Y. Okay.
So Sloan, the female otak Y? I don't know.
Otaki?
Otaki?
I'm Sloan, the female otaki.
Yeah. I love that YouTuber. They're great.
Oh my gosh.
And oh man, actually I had one of my subscribers actually recognize me at Anime Fest. Yeah, like I was sitting down. This was actually during when the John and Pyrrha were dancing, or actually they were taking a break from dancing, but I was sitting down charging my phone and they walked up to me and they're like, "Are you the otaku fangirl?" And I'm like, "Yes." Oh god, I've been recognized. What do I do? So that was a thing that happened and we talked for a bit and he was a cool dude. And he's also a very small channel like myself. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Aw, that's super awesome.
Yeah, so that was fun because I was just like, oh god, I've been recognized. Oh god, what do I do? Help me, this has never happened before.
Well, during both actually Otakon and Liberty City, people asked me to bless their roles. So, because I'm a pretty lucky person when it comes to Fate Grand Order. So first, and this was actually not a fan; these were actually my friends. This was back over when we were having dinner over at the Cuban restaurant. So, two of my friends, they just passed their phone around to the group, having us bless their roles, and this was actually for JP. Now, I never played JP, so I wasn't too sure how my luck for JP would be. However, I did have a sudden rush, like a feeling. I was just like, oh God, it's the Sloan feeling. Something's going to happen. Something's going to come up. So one of my friends, nothing, just a event craft essence. My other friend, you saw a silver assassin card and then it turned gold. So I'm just like, oh God, because she wanted to get one of the summer servants that's an assassin. I don't know who. I'm not familiar with this servant. But one of the new summer servants in JP that's an assassin she wanted. And it did not turn into that. Instead, it turned into Kiritsugu assassin. So not good for her. However, I knew a gold was going to happen and it happened. Jonathan said Ushi. It was Ushi? Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know it was Ushi. Okay, in that case, I am familiar with Ushi. I just did not know Ushi was a summer servant. I'm surprised. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I know about the JP's one that's going on because I think Swimsuit John Alter is a thing.
Oh my gosh, no. Have you seen Swimsuit Jalter? Because, oh my god, that is a fantastic design. And she's a berserker form, and she's free, and I'm like, hell yes!
I'm like, come on, I need this now in NA.
I know. Just,
but it's gonna be like 2 years or 3 before that happens.
Gosh. Oh, I see JoJo. Hi, JoJo.
Yo, JoJo's.
Yo, JoJo, what it do?
What it do, JoJo?
What it do, JoJo? I leave. For another person, this was over at the fan meetup at Otakon. The person was just like, wait, before we end the meet, please. And so he shows me like his phone, and this was for NA. So I'm like, okay, NA I can do. Unfortunately, it was a bare minimum type of role, but it was still fun to do. Over at Liberty City, these 2 people, they were friends and stuff. They recognized me. They took pictures with me and stuff. And then they left. 5 minutes later, they come back, and they're like, please bless our roles. And I look over, and it's not for Fate Grand Order, but for Girls Front Line. So I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, I have average luck when it comes to Girls Front Line. I don't know why they want me to do this, but okay. So I bless one of the dudes' roles, and it turns into 4-star. It was a 4-star. It was for AS Val. And for the other girl, unfortunately, she ran out of quick production cards, so I wasn't able to see live what she got. But later that day, she tweeted out what the what the T-doll ended up being, and it was the 5-star Foul. And I was like, oh my god, you got the waifu, yes! I was so happy. I'm just like, oh my god, yay! So all right.
That's good.
It turned out great. I got someone a 4-star, and I got another person a 5-star. Great. Super happy.
I have a friend who's really into Girls Front Line. She's like trying to get me to play it, but I'm like, but I have to play Fate Grand Order because I have problems.
Okay, for real, it is super confusing at first. Like really confusing. But
like I have it on my iPad, but I don't really touch my iPad much.
OMG, like we should like I didn't know you had it. I actually have a free friend spot, so like I could totally friend you.
Okay.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have to get back to it. It's just like my iPad's always sitting somewhere where I usually don't reach for it, and I'm like, eh. Oh man. My poor iPad that doesn't get used.
Like, the reason why those people want me to bless their Girls Front Line roles is because they saw my tweet earlier of how I finally got my waifu 416. So they were actually hoping to get 416. No, the dude that ended up getting the 4-star wanted 416. The girl just wanted a 5-star in general. She still just has not gotten a 5-star. So I was happy to get it for her.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So come to me to bless your roles. I shall bless them live.
Yeah, like, I mean, you didn't get me Ku Alter, but you got me Tamino no Mae, so.
Yeah, no, Tamo's great. I love her to bits. Yeah, that's pretty much all my convention stories. Anything else that you want to close out
with? There's one very short one. It was back at the Tatum 18+ panel. There was a guy with a saxophone, and he was actually the one that got the first question. It wasn't the story I told, that was the second dude. But he had a saxophone, and when Tatum was like, okay, me calling someone, right? And so the guy starts playing Careless Whisper on his saxophone. And then Tatum was like, it has to be you. You have to be the first one. So that was funny. Oh, man. I feel like there's always that one person at a con that has like an instrument. It's either an ocarina, a saxophone, a guitar, whatever.
That is true. Because literally over at OverCon, there were 2 people with instruments, and they were not together. You had one person like across from the hall, and the other person like literally the exact opposite end. And so you had like, I've seen this at literally every single convention I've ever been to. And you have that Coyote cosplayer from Your Lie in April, and she's playing the violin every single time without fail. But then across the hall, you see just this random dude. He's not cosplaying. He just has an electric guitar and his amp. He has his own little setup, and he's just playing his guitar. I'm just like, I didn't know that was allowed. Like, you could just plug in your amp and just play your electric guitar, not even cosplaying. You're just sitting there and playing it. That's all you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there was a Joker at Anime Fest that was playing the violin, so that was cool.
Oh, I think Scott got that guy on his vlog.
He did. I was right next to him when he did too. Yeah, I had Scott follow me around places because I was like, I'll show you where to go.
Oh yeah, because so you've been to Anime Fest before?
Yeah, I had been there like, oh god, that was like my first convention ever, like 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But like the day before when I got there on Friday, I like scoured the con, like, so I knew where everything was. So because it was like 4 floors, so yeah.
All right. Okay then, guys, I'm gonna end it here because it's now storming at my place, and I'm hungry for my pizza. So I'm gonna eat my pizza with a storm in the background, and it'll be great. All right then, guys. Thank you, Sarah, for coming over once again.
Yay!
Are you going to any more conventions this year?
Nope. Nope. Well, besides that one, I might go into my town, but we'll see.
When's that?
Oh god, I don't know. I think it's later in the year. It might be in October. I don't know.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, if it's during the same weekend or like maybe a week after, a week before one of my conventions, then like, we gotta do this again.
I'll have to see. I have to check with my friend because he knows, but I don't.
Okay, because like the next 2 conventions I'm going to this year, I'm going over to New York Comic Con, and that's like the beginning of October. It's odd. It's like I'm going to New York Comic Con and I'm going to Anime Fest, which is their very first time doing this, and it's basically New York Comic Con collabing with Anime Expo and creating a separate anime convention that goes on at the same time during Comic Con, except it's at a different location. So
yeah, that sounds confusing.
There's no weekend badges. You have to pay $20 each day.
That's dumb.
I know. So I'm glad I'm going as press. But that's the next thing I'm going to, and then Anime NYC in November. So if you happen to go to conventions around the same time, then stories stream. Here we go again.
Okay. One day I want to come to a convention like Anime NYC because like you've been there and I've seen videos from that. And I'm like, I want to go to that one.
It's getting rapidly big. Okay, it's getting
like
huge.
I want to go to a con that's not in Texas.
Have you only been to Texas cons?
Yep, I've never been outside of Texas cons.
Oh my gosh, what? You gotta branch out. You got this.
I know.
You gotta save
But now that I have a
life.
job, I can do that.
Yes. And you already know what to do with press, so you don't have to pay for the thing. Like, yo, you got this. I believe in you.
Then I just have to request time off. Be like, hey, can I leave?
Yeah. So good luck there.
It's funny because I listed, when I went to Anime Fest, I listed the time off as family time. Because if I said, oh, I'm going to this thing, they would be like, no, you can't leave. I'm like, okay, I'll put family time. I mean, technically, cons are family, so.
Not
if you that much of a lie.
I'm going to end the stream now, guys, though. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.